Realistic dialogue is crucial for AI filmmaking, and until just a couple days ago, Veo 3 was the only AI video tool that allowed you to generate videos that had sound and dialogue. So I was excited to see that WAN 2.5 now also supports dialogue. I was hoping to include Kling 2.5 in this comparison too, and it does audio, but it doesn't do dialogue. I did try two different ways. So I tried it in the prompt itself over here. So I took it out of the prompt here and I put it down here in the advanced sound effects. And I thought, well, maybe if I put it in the sound, this will work. So unfortunately, Kling does not have the ability to do that yet. And I'm sure they'll release it like the day after I post this. So I did post this short video over the weekend, which shows how the three stack up. But let's do another comparison using this image of a horse with someone chopping wood in the background. I'm going to use WAN in Higgsfield, which is a tool that lets you choose from a lot of different models. So I selected my model here. I'm going to do 2.5. I'm not going to do the fast one, although it would be cheaper, but I'll do the quality one. And then we'll put a prompt in there. So we're going to have a prompt where the horse is breathing and we hear him doing horse sounds. And then in the background, the man swings the axe and we hear the thunk of the axe splitting the firewood. Let's see how this works. So in Kling, I'm going to use it just as a start frame here. I'll prompt the action here. And then in the sound effects, and it holds the sound effects, so make sure that was from my last one. So I'll put my sound effects here and then my prompt in here. You could probably put them all in the prompt, to be honest, but I'm going to split them out like this. That's a little too forceful. Now I'll do this in Gemini because I get 3 free videos a day. So I'm just going to click this Tools button and go Create Videos with VEO. So I'm going to add the photo here and I'll paste the same prompt. So I've got my image, I've got my prompt, and I've got my video. To me, Veo 3 is the clear winner here. That was the audio only test. So we're going to say goodbye to Kling now because Kling can't do dialogue and we're only going to do dialogue from here on out. All right, let's try one of this podcaster who's trying to solve a murder mystery. So she's going to be whispering, "I'm outside the house of the Crystal Lake Killer right now." All right, so let's try that one.
"I'm outside the house of the Crystal Lake Killer right now."
I mean, it's actually kind of an interesting shot. It's not what I want at all, but if you wanted that shot, that would be amazing.
The house of the Crystal Lake Killer right now.
Oh, you know what it is? It's this enhance on thing. So this is what happens when you click these enhance on buttons. Look at this prompt. So it's adding a lot of extra stuff. The camera dolly is in a wide exterior shot, night cricket. So it's putting a lot of extra stuff in there. That's why I always turn these off. I don't like these. And so I'm going to turn that off and then we'll try it again.
"I'm outside the house of the Evergreen Lake Killer right now."
She covers her mouth, which is a little bit annoying because you want to see the lip sync. The guy barely moves. I actually like the enhanced prompt one because it's so wildly dramatic.
"I'm outside the house of the Crystal Lake Killer right now."
It's so good. I don't want that, but I don't know. Maybe it's a good one. Maybe I'm wrong. And then we'll try the same one in Google VEO.
"I'm outside the house of the Evergreen Lake Killer right now."
In retrospect, I probably should have prompted what he does more because he looks at her. I probably could have written a better prompt, but you do get the fact that she's whispering.
"I'm outside the house of the Evergreen Lake Killer right now."
She has a little sigh right before she starts talking. I feel like that's solid. I feel like I could iterate the prompt a little bit to get the look I want. All right, I wanted to recreate the final scene from the novel The Sun Also Rises. We've got Jake Barnes and Lady Brett Ashley in the backseat of a taxi. Let's put their final iconic lines in a prompt with this image. This is the WAN version.
Oh, Jake, we could have had such a damned good time together.
Yes, isn't it pretty to think so?
You talk a little too fast. I'm just eating up my credits, you guys. I don't care. I'm going to try 10 seconds and see if that slows her down. And then let me give it some context too. Let's say, let's give this a shot. We'll do the 10 seconds. So we're doing two things here. We're giving it a little bit more emotion, and we're also saying you've got more time to get those lines out. So hopefully it will sound more like what I imagine it sounds like. Let's see.
Oh, Jake, we could have had such a damned good time together.
Yes, isn't it pretty to think so?
I like the emotion a lot more. Like, it sounds better, but this is like, welcome to the early days of VEO again, where we had constant captions. So if I were doing this again, I would probably add no captions or subtitles to this prompt, because I didn't actually know that this was the same issue that people had with VEO giving captions and subtitles. So it looks like you have that same issue with WAN 2.5. So no captions or subtitles. All right, this will be my last free video of the day. So this will be the last one in Gemini. Then we'll switch over to Flow.
Oh, Jake, we could have had such a damn good time together.
Yes, isn't it pretty to think so?
It's so much better. Okay. All right, and for the next two examples, I'm going to switch over. So what I do, WAN, I'm going to go on the wan.video site, which I think is the official site, at least it claims to be. And then also VEO Flow, which is the Google version. Let's do the WAN version first. I click here, so I'm on video. And then I'm going to add an image. So I'm going to upload from my device. What I like about this image is that he's fully in profile, which if you've ever tried to lip sync an image, you know that it's really hard to lip sync someone who is in profile. And she's slightly out of focus and her head isn't completely centered. A lot of times I feel like lip sync tools are geared more towards corporate presenters or influencers who are looking directly at the camera. So I like the fact that neither of these people are looking at the camera. So I'm going to have the dialogue for the man and the woman. And we'll do the same thing, 2.5. Let's do 10 seconds, see what happens. I like that it tells you how long it's going to be. That's a big deal.
What did you think of me back then?
Oh, I don't remember. Or rather, I remember, but I'm not telling you.
It's very wooden delivery, in my opinion. All right, let's try the same thing in VEO Flow. So from VEO Flow, we're going to switch from text to video to frames to video. We'll click this. This is our start frame. Once that's in our first frame, we'll paste in the same dialogue there. And I'm going to use VEO3 fast mode because I think it will still be better and it's fewer credits. And I imagine if you're doing this, you're probably using fast mode as well. So I'm actually hampering VEO a little bit here, but I still think it's going to perform really well.
What did you think of me back then?
Oh, I don't remember.
Or rather, I remember, but I'm not telling you.
VEO does this a lot where it mixes up the dialogue. Even though you say the man, I think sometimes it's like whoever is on the left is the first to speak, then the right. So it's just kind of garbled who's saying what. So I'm going to try one more time. I'm going to click this. So if I click this button over here, we use prompt. It'll put the same image there and the same prompt. And I'm just going to say the man speaks first and asks this. So let's see if this helps and we can stay in fast mode that way.
What did you think of me back then?
Oh, I don't remember. Or rather, I remember, but I'm not telling you.
That's better. We fixed the problem where he's talking, then she's talking. We could do the same thing where we added some emotional cues to the prompt as well. All right, now let's get a little crazy. I'm going to go to Google Translate and put her line in. All right, then I'm going to see if I can get her to speak a different language. In WAN, I'm going to click this use button again. Puts that in there. And I'll just paste that in there. And then I'll put the second line of dialogue in there. like that. And then I'm going to copy that so I can bring that over to VEO as well. All right, let's see how this works.
是你对我有什么看法？
哦，我不记得了，或者说，我记得，但我不会告诉你。
So I have no idea if that's correct or not, but it's impressive because what we got on VEO was this. At least I get my credits back. The last one, we've done 2 shots where it's people talking where they're both in frame at the same time. Personally, I prefer when dialogue is all in the same frame like that. I think it looks cooler. Let's say you want to have a shot like this, but then you want to cut to coverage, like where you get to see a close-up of her and a close-up of him when they're talking. So I did this in Sora, which I think Sora is better than Nano Banana, to be honest, in terms of being able to move the camera around a scene. And there's a link in the description to my video about that. With image to video, you can really string a scene out for a long time this way. All right, so we're going to start with the man speaks first and says, "Thanks for meeting me here." And the alien responds, "Of course, what's on your mind?"
Thanks for meeting me here.
Of course. What's on your mind?
Let me get this straight. You could be anywhere in the universe, and you came here?
I really like this emotion that he's got in this one. All right, and then one kind of tricky thing I'm doing here is he says dinosaurs, and then it says, "Okay, since we don't have dinosaurs, will you take me back to your planet?" So in their dialogue, the alien's going to say, "I heard there were dinosaurs," and he says, "Dinosaurs?" And then the alien says something, and then he has this line. So we're kind of splitting this up so we can get 2 dialogue things in one video. I like to do that if there's just a line like this that's just kind of a throwaway line, and it will be really easy to fit those both in. So let's give that a try.
Dinosaurs? Okay, since we don't have dinosaurs, will you take me back to your planet?
Let me do this one. I think he says it really funny because he's trying to rush it out in 5 seconds. So let's reuse this one. Let's do a 10-second one. All right, let's see if we can get him so he's not rushing it this time.
Dinosaurs? Okay. Since we don't have dinosaurs, will you take me back to your planet?
And then we'll do the same thing with the alien. I heard there were dinosaurs, and then we'll cut to the guy talking, then we'll cut back to the alien. News takes a while to get to us. So we'll try that.
I heard there were dinosaurs. News takes a while to get to us.
All right, and here's that whole scene edited together in WAN.
Thanks for meeting me here.
Of course. What's on your mind?
Let me get this straight. You could be anywhere in the universe, and you came here?
I heard there were dinosaurs. Dinosaurs? News takes a while to get to us.
Okay. Since we don't have dinosaurs, will you take me back to your planet?
Right, we'll do the same thing here. We're on frames to video, so we're going to choose a new frame here. Sora is great at moving the camera around and letting us get these shots, but it's really bad at aspect ratio. So it's not 16:9. So we have to choose, do we want to show more of the beer and less of his head, or more of his head? I kind of want to just get in there. I don't really care about the beer as much. It'd be nice to show the whole alien head there. All right, so then we'll click crop and save.
Thanks for meeting me here.
Of course. What's on your mind?
I feel like he's got that VO gibberish that sometimes happens.
Here.
So we'll do the same thing here. Crop and save that one.
Let me get this straight. Now, you could be anywhere in the universe and you came H-E-R-E? Let me get this straight. Now, you could be...
I like that he spells out H-E-R-E. All right, let me just switch that one up again. And let's just say here. Let's see if it picks up what he's supposed to do.
Let me get this straight. Now, you could be anywhere in the universe and you came here?
I do like that there's some ambient noise, bar noise in this one too. The downside though is it's not going to carry it across all of the other clips consistently. The ambient noise here could actually create a problem when we go to edit it.
Dinosaurs? Okay, since we don't have dinosaurs, will you take me back to your planet?
I like that delivery a lot.
I heard there were dinosaurs. Nice pass. News takes a while to get to us.
See, it did 2 things. It added his dialogue, and then it does something like if there's any punctuation, it adds that gibberish.
I heard there were dinosaurs. Mice pass. News takes a while to get to us.
All right, let's try that one again.
I heard there were dinosaurs. News takes a while to get to us.
It's still making him talk, I think. So I'm not a fan of that. But all right, so here is the VEO version of that movie.
Thanks for meeting me here.
Of course. What's on your mind? Let me get this straight. Now, you could be anywhere in the universe and you came here?
I heard there were dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs?
News takes a while to get to us.
Okay, since we don't have dinosaurs, will you take me back to your planet?
All right, let me know which one you think is better. I still think VEO is the winner, but I'm so glad that there is a competitor now. And some of the WAN videos were better. Pretty soon, I'm going to have another video about AI voice that will show you how to make all of these voices consistent. I've got a newsletter where I talk about AI filmmaking a little bit more. And I've got a lot of tutorials on my website that shows a movie and how I made the movie. So check that out as well. And don't forget to check out the Sora video. I think Sora images are kind of underrated right now. And I think that when they release their next model, I think it's actually going to blow everyone else away. So we'll see. They've overpromised on video before. So, all right. Thank you for watching. Have fun generating and iterating.